everyone, welcome back to the realm. I'm Gina.
I'm still Rich.
I'm Jen.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Brian.
Hey everyone, welcome back to an episode of Weird Weekly News. We're kicking off season 4, diving right into some weird news stories. So,
season 3.
Wait, what is it? Oh yeah, what did I say?
You said season 4.
Oh my gosh. Well, I just did the recording schedule for season 4, so that's why my brain's in season 4.
Now everybody knows we're coming back for a 4th season.
We are, for sure. We'll be back for our 44th season.
Well, with all the investigating we're gonna have lots of episodes on that.
I know, I'm super excited. Very excited.
Knock on wood.
What happened? What'd you say?
But I hope we get picked up for that 4th season, you know?
Yeah,
we are taking sponsorship if anybody's interested. Today, for those of you who are just joining us, maybe for the first time, maybe you haven't listened to anything before, every Wednesday we bring you some weird weekly news. So sometimes there'll just be a few of us on here, sometimes the whole team. But what we do is we come to the table with a weird news story each. And then we spin the wheel of names and decide like who's going to go first with their story. So everybody that was able to find a story and wants to share it, they're going to be on that wheel of names, spin, and then select, and then we're going to just blind react to it. So nobody knows what the other person is bringing to the table for this discussion. So it can be weird news. It's going to be weird news from around the world and beyond. Could be old, could be new, could be ghostly, could be just, literally anything strange. We've talked about cell phones dropping in pit toilets. We've talked about giants and pretty much everything you can think of. So, all right, without any further ado, are you guys ready to spin the wheel of names?
Let's do.
All right.
Spin that wheel.
Let me pull up.
Come on, $1. Oh, wait, wrong show.
No whammies.
No whammies. Okay, here we go. So I got it. We're all on here.
As if we don't know what's going to happen here.
It's going to be... I accidentally spun it like when we were prepping for the show and it landed on Rich. So let's just see what happens here.
It could be Gina all the way around and one of me and it'll land on me.
Oh!
You just jinxed me. Okay, Gina. Okay. All right. It's me.
You're a winner. Yay.
I am a winner. Okay. Well, so I'm going to read a predominant amount from this news story.
Okay.
And for those of you listening, just so you know, if you've caught our podcast on audio, we do have YouTube. If you want to see our lovely, shining, smiling faces, you can check out our YouTube channel and see the entirety of this podcast. And we also share pictures and video and so forth. So you definitely can take a look at that. So since I was chosen to go first, I'm going to talk to you about monks that self-mummify themselves while they're still alive. Have you ever heard of this? Anyone? Oh, wait, Brian, I can't hear you.
I saw a picture of this, and I didn't go into any great detail. I just thought, yeah, that's the worst game of hide and seek this person ever did. But I think I know which one you're doing.
So I when I saw the first article, it was from the IFL Science news source, which they post a lot of different things on science. But then I was like, I can't just get it from this one source. I really need to take a look and see, like, is this real? How long has this been going on? So there were quite a few different sites. It's even on Wikipedia. So you even have that there. So I'm gonna talk to you guys about this thing that they do. So Japanese monks who mummified themselves while still alive. So between 1081 and 1903, around 20 living Shingon monks successfully mummified themselves in an attempt at, and I'm going to butcher this, Sokushinbutsu, or means becoming a Buddha in this body, is what that translates to. Through a strict diet foraged by the nearby mountains of Dewa, Japan, the monks worked to dehydrate the body from inside out by ridding themselves of fat, muscle, and moisture before being buried in a pine box to meditate through their last days on Earth. So While this event may seem particular to Japanese monks, it just goes on to say that many cultures have practiced mummification. So there's like a book that was written called Living Buddhas, the self-mummified works of Yamagata, Japan by a Ken Jeremiah, that has a lot of information about many religions around the world. Recognize an imperishable corpse as a mark of exceptional ability to connect with force, which transcends the physical realm. The only religious sect to practice mummification, the Japanese Shingon monks of Yamagata, are among the most famous to practice the rituals, as several of their practitioners successfully mummified themselves while still alive. So basically, they're seeking redemption from salvation, and they consider it like a very spiritual practice. And so the other articles, so I have a couple articles that I'm getting this from. So essentially, here's what their diet is. So for 1,000 days, the monks would subsist on only pine needles, nuts, roots, buds from trees, and in some cases, even stones from nearby streams that are in the area. All of these items fitting to the mummification process after somebody dies, right? They stuff people full of these things after they die because it dehydrates the body and it preserves the body is what it's supposed to do. So for 1,000 days, they would go through this. That's 3 years. They would just exist on this diet. Their muscle, their tissue, and everything would just completely waste away during this process. And then once they got to that point when they were done with that detoxification, I guess, and being on the journey for 1,000 days, they would then, their emaciated body would be put into these pine boxes. They'd be lowered 10 feet below. There was a tube that would go up to the earth that they could continue to breathe through while they were down there. And there was also a bell above the grave as well with this rope. So essentially they would ring the bell every day to let people know that they were alive. And when the bell would stop ringing, then they would make the assumption that the person was dead, had passed or transcended, because it was thought to be something, incredible. And then they would seal the tomb. Now, I guess there were some reports that the body was before they sealed the tomb, they would exhume the body out of the ground and check to see if there was any signs of decay. And if there were no signs of decay, then they were placed in the temple so that they could be revered and looked at and so forth. And not really worshiped, but, just revered in that way because they had transcended or reached that Buddha state while in their live body, is what they believed, that they transcended to the highest possible place. If their body showed any signs of decay, even minor, they would provide the monk with a modest burial and then, then just rebury them. So I'm going to share my screen so I can show you guys a picture of this because it's pretty intense. So as you can see, it's pretty gnarly looking. So that's basically what they do to their body prior to.
Well, at least they put Ray-Bans on them.
I know, right? It's like, and I tried to do some digging into this, like, okay, was this person still alive at this point, or was this an exhumed body? But I could not find any idea, like any information, I guess, not idea, but I couldn't find any information on whether or not that photo was of somebody who was like at the end, getting ready to go into the pine box and their body had wasted away, or if that was after the fact.
I think everybody's got to be ready for the pine box after 3 years of that.
I'm an idiot. There wouldn't have been a picture of them while they were still alive because it's no longer practiced. So it's not. So I don't know why they have sunglasses on that guy now that I think about it.
That guy, I think that was Woodstock 99 where that guy was.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't even think of that. So yeah, I guess it was outlawed at the end of the 1800s. I mean, they were still practicing it, till much of that time. But Ray-Bans were not out in 1903 when the very last of these guys did that. So that's my embarrassing snafu of the day. That it can't be current. So the Ray-Bans were added after the fact, and I'm not sure why. But there you go.
Interesting.
Could you imagine, though?
No.
Can you imagine, like, just eating pine needles, rocks, dirt?
I don't know how you could survive a year.
Let alone 3
years.
So that's a typical vegan diet, so I'm used to it.
Oh yeah,
Rocks
they
and
could
pine
have
needles?
berries. They could have berries too.
Well, rocks, pine needles, berries, that's all vegan.
Especially the rocks.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I don't. Why would you want to do that? I guess my questions would involve, why do you do it? Do you do it because you're towards the end of your life, so that's a thing you do as like a stepping thing to move on? I
Right.
mean, let's say you're 30 years old. I doubt you're doing that. Why would you do that? I mean, I guess if you're really devoted to that, but it seems a little bit strange. But then again, how many young monks do you see? They're usually all older. So is it like they live their life and that's the next thing that they move on to, and these are just,
Right, their whole goal is to reach enlightenment,
right.
and their whole life is devoted to meditation
Right.
and, enlightenment. So, yeah, I think that they're ready to do it. I don't know why you would want to do it that way.
Yeah, that's
They've already devoted their whole life to that, so it's not like they're missing out on
yeah, I guess.
going to clubs and stuff like that.
Right, partying. It's just crazy to me to think that they're supposed to be in there meditating in those final days, and it's like, I don't know if I can meditate knowing I was dying. Like I don't like dying in that way. I guess I should say it like that. So I don't know where it's
Right, but their whole thing is not to be afraid of death and reincarnation or enlightenment.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah,
yeah, that's true.
I get the pine box.
Metal horns. Yeah. All right. Let's see what everybody else has. That's my weird news story for this episode. So
All right, I'll go next.
you want to go next? You don't want me to spin the wheel?
No, I'll go next. I don't
All
care.
right, go for it.
Mine comes from Augusta, Maine, and the headline reads: Maine motorist fights for the right to have naughty vanity license plates. Anybody hear this one?
No.
No. It evolves around the main person involved in this story, and the reason why it's out is a vegan whose custom license plates contains the words TOFU, tofu, is one of the motorists caught in a state crackdown on vulgar license plates. So basically what they're saying is, up until last year, they didn't crack down on the vanity license plates. And I found out that it was kind of more nationwide as well. It wasn't just in Maine, where they let you get away with different sayings on your license plates that may be a little bit racy or sex and drugs and different things like that. Because I mean, obviously, the FU, they had some examples of some of what they were. License plates censored with the pairings of the F word, like F snow, F haters, FALS, stuff like that. And they let that stuff go up until just recently. So they're cracking down on these. And the Maine Motor Vehicle Department, they had to get rid of almost 120,000 vanity license plates of people that were submitting different ones that they deemed to be inappropriate.
What do they have against tofu?
Well, here's how the plate read, and that's the point. I guess it's all in how you read the plate. The plate said,
I can tell you already what it said.
Said, yeah, LUV TOFU.
That's a very popular bumper sticker, something you can get because that's pretty much what it means. But you can get away with it because of the tofu and depending on your diet, I guess.
And you could get away with it up until apparently recently. Now they're saying no, you can't. And that was that's what this guy's argument was, Rob. He said I went in front of the courts or the motor vehicle to plead his case as to why he should have the plates. And he says it's tofu. I love tofu. He said I've got the bumper stickers all over the back of my car. No one can confuse it for anything else. And they were like, no, we're not having none of that. So he cannot have that he loves tofu on his license plate. And
does he really though?
What's that?
Yeah, that's the thing. And I ever tell you about the time I was in a group text at work and I put a donut and an eggplant and I got in trouble, emoji, and I mean that's what I wanted for lunch, right?
Yeah.
They cut donuts. I don't know what the big deal was, but they weren't having that.
Yeah. In the state's defense, if they needed defense, they offered another license plate that became available. It said V3GAN, so vegan. But he decided he's done with vanity plates. He said, "No, forget it. Screw you guys. I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to get a regular plate, a random plate, and that's what he's going to go with." And then there was a couple other people that somehow they lost their plates because they had these plates, and the state said, "No, you guys can't have them anymore." The B word. I won't say it. We know what it is.
We dropped the F-bomb here, so.
Yeah, true. So, those people they're like, what? They're like, man, we've had these plates for forever. I mean, I get it to a certain extent, and I didn't realize that it was something that was more of a nationwide thing where thousands of plates are turned down. Now, I've got vanity plates on my car, and the way that is, I don't know if anybody's ever done that before, but when you fill that application out, you have to pick like 3 or 4 different ones, because obviously when you go on the site, you could type in the ones you're looking for, and it'll tell you if they're taken or not. And if they're not taken, you fill out the little thing. This is what I want, and then there's a spot after that you have to tell them what does it mean, and then they can decide if they want to let it go or not go. Now, anybody that knows my license plate, it's from Lucifer, the TV show. Okay, and when I wrote it says "fallen one" is what it says.
Okay.
And when it asked for the description of what it meant, I put "devil Lucifer." That's what I put. and I got the plates. So I mean, I don't know, how they're rating these things, but I'm thinking the devil or Lucifer might be one that might have been a little bit controversial to some people. But I mean, I guess it doesn't say that on the plate. It says something else.
What does your plate say?
Fallen one.
Well, I mean, FU is pretty universal, where, Lucifer's up for interpretation.
Sure.
You caught somebody on a good day at the DMV. You caught an open-minded.
I guess, because I thought to myself, boy, I'm going to write this down, and they're going to see that. They're going to be like,
the person was watching Lucifer and was laughing and saying, "Let this guy have his plate."
Well, because I've done that online, and I have applied, and you probably won't believe this, but 666 was available, and I just never got it.
Yeah, I've actually seen that number on license plate. I feel I could have a false memory, but I feel like
it's probably been stole by now. So,
but I think I've seen it in the sequence of numbers, right? So it wasn't just I don't think somebody just got it. I think it happened to be the random generator number that there were 360.
Oh yeah, I see that. I'm like, those guys are lucky.
every time anything is 666, if one time my odometer had said that, and I thought of you, Rob. So just
see, I get that a lot. People send me pictures of things like that, and I'm like,
I think the guy in Maine, you said it was LUV TOFU. Maybe he's just super honest, and if he is, I think that guy deserves a medal, because maybe he really, really, really is just telling the truth, and he goes to the extent of putting vegan bumper stickers on. That's how committed he is to effing, and that's amazing. He deserves a medal.
I think if it was just love TOFU, it would be different. But the word "two" in the center of there kind of changes it.
Mm-hmm. It's just a really honest guy.
Well, anyway, that was my story. I thought it was a little weird, but I thought it was interesting that they're cracking down on these plates, and
it's just a second story, and we're still beating up vegans. So I hope we got a theme going here.
That's true.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah, how we went there. Yeah.
I love vegans. I love you, Rob.
Right, what's wrong delicious. With that? They're all corn.
I live with one. They're good people.
Yeah. Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Let's hear it.
All right. So there was this vegan. I'm kidding.
Oh, that was good.
Damn it.
So actually, my weird news article is about. I went looking for a weird news article. I haven't done a lot of exploring in this area, but I came across this one in Australia where a man finds a spooky hidden room in his house sealed off for decades. So the article is pretty short, but it talks about how a surprised homeowner has uncovered a hidden room full of spooky items inside his house. And a couple of those items, they really are creepy looking things. For example, there's like a baby carriage and a newspaper that was dated 1937. Found a couple other, he noticed that there were like lines in the wall, but he never really paid too much attention to it. Finally came around trying to break down the wall and finds this room with all these different things in there. There's a mirror, a really creepy looking mirror, and a newspaper. So I thought, well, that's really creepy, particularly thinking about recently buying this house. And I've always had dreams in my grandparents' house that there were secret passages in their house, and that it's not true. I don't know why I dreamed this stuff. But I thought it was kind of an interesting topic. And so I looked a little bit further. And that one was like dated like a couple days ago. And then I found one from March 16th, which was very similar. And it says, Mom discovers hidden room in new house, finds creepy photo of little boy inside. And this one talks about a family that moved into a home and they were really excited about it. And they realized that the porch was hollow. So the husband noticed that it was hollow and he dug up the porch, and there were stairways down to a hidden creepy room.
Was this in Milwaukee?
Yeah. Yeah. And the walls were covered in several layers of wallpaper, newspaper clippings from the 50s. Of all the things they found, one of the things that caught their eye was a photo of a young boy and an old letter. The black and white photo of the young boy looked innocent until you take a closer look, and I'll show you what that picture looks like in just a second. It was a mystery that the homeowner couldn't figure out. She wondered whether or not it was a printing error, if there was something paranormal about the photo. But then she held on to it. They also found a letter from the 60s that talked about Lucille and a family that must have lived there, and talked about how one of the mother understood. And so it was interesting to see that. When they decided to kind of dig into it further, they went to their city registrar to get more information, but there was no record of when the house was built. They didn't know when it was renovated or anything like that. So I just found that really interesting. And then when I looked into this a little bit further, I came across an article around 9 historic homes that have secret rooms you didn't know about. And I'm not going to go through all of those. But one of them is the Winchester House. And then I was super excited because I just think that place is so cool. I was able to tour it. I was able to actually go with a group, and it was just one of the coolest places I've ever seen. And there were a lot of those types of things. So I think it's really interesting with some of these hidden rooms, whether that's supposed to be like a hideout or what the purpose of that hidden room is. But I can't even imagine moving into a house and then years later finding out that there's like a whole different room with a bunch of stuff in it. I'll go ahead and share my screen for this picture. Hopefully you guys will be able to see it okay.
Oh, wow.
What's interesting about this is it looks pretty normal with this little boy in the car. But then when you look at the man behind him, he doesn't have a head.
Oh, he's headless.
Yeah, you don't realize that right away. So that's when she was talking about how she didn't know if it was just a faulty camera or if something weird was going on, but it was kind of a strange photo. So
that is really weird.
It is. It is a weird one. So
gosh.
And I can share the picture.
Wow.
You can post
yeah, we'll definitely put that online. Anybody that's listening, you're gonna have to either like check out our Facebook page because we'll have a copy of this photo, or you can find us on YouTube and check out this episode because wow, that is really incredible photo. It's a little boy that's inside these old-fashioned like metal cars from back in the day. You said it was 19, or I don't know what date it was, or if it was dated. And next to him,
picture, I don't know if that picture was dated.
And was he in like a butcher? Like he looked like he was in a uniform, like the white
like
socks that are worn by butchers or a chef or something. And the man is standing there, and he's completely headless. So I would be freaked out if I found that. If I found hidden rooms in my home and found any kind of weird items, I will promise you I will probably move. I just don't want to deal with it anymore.
Well, and like I said,
first we have to investigate
about the
it,
Winchester house, and I was like, oh, that'd be so cool. What'd you say, Rich?
She said if she found one, she would have to move. I said first we'd have to investigate it before you'd have to move, because
definitely.
I mean that's just par for the course. I mean,
yeah, I would say. I mean, we'd have to investigate it first. 100%.
Yes, I agree.
Well, that was a good one, Jenny. I appreciate that one.
Thanks.
yeah, it was all right.
What do you got, Brian?
There's no vegans in it, but
Good.
Not no more.
All right, so in looking up some weird stories, I got a collection of a few, and I literally didn't realize till I sat down. I inadvertently had a theme that I didn't know I had. So
the vegan.
We had one too we didn't know about.
It is a food theme, so I'm going to let you guys decide. Breakfast, pizza, or potato chips? What do you want?
Oh,
Pizza.
Yeah, let's do pizza.
pizza.
Right,
Pizza it is.
Let's go pizza.
All right, we're going to take the pizza story. Good choice. I'll let you guys guess what state this happened in at the end of the story.
Florida.
Kansas.
New York, it's pizza. It's got to be.
I'm going to wait till the end of the story.
It's never Kansas. All right, so this happened on March 21st, so not too long ago. A man was arrested Friday after he allegedly slapped a woman with a slice of pizza during an argument. The deputies responded to the residence after receiving a 911 hang-up call for possible domestic disturbance. I almost said the county. Don't want to give that away. Deputies spoke to the suspect, 39-year-old. I don't want to mispronounce his name. A 39-year-old male who told them he had an argument with the female victim. The affidavit said the victim told deputies she had been slapped on the side of the face with a slice of pizza during an argument after the man became upset when she physically disciplined another individual in the home, quote, on his bottom area. There's evidence of the pizza toss.
Oh my God.
Pizza toss was found on the front of the victim's shirt, her shirt collar, and on her undershirt. She also had, quote, remnants of pizza in her hair. The victims led deputies inside the home where they found pizza sauce on the walls and ceiling of the kitchen area. The man was detained and told deputies he'd been in an argument, and when the deputies asked if he had struck the victim with a slice of pizza, he said no, he threw the pizza slice and that it hit her in the face. The defendant advised he did not physically strike the victim with his hands, just with a slice of pizza.
Still assault.
He was still arrested on a battery charge.
Oh yeah, battery.
To the county jail. He was later released on his own recognizance to batter with pizza once again.
Nobody puts assault on their pizza.
I have to say, this is just like a good old-fashioned food fight. Like, okay, maybe not. I don't want to minimize it, but I'm just saying, like...
Well, what if it's really hot?
I mean, that would be bad.
That would be painful.
That would be painful. But this is a weirdness.
In your eyes.
It's not every day that you're going to open your newspaper or you're going to, like, just hit the news on the internet and see a story about man arrested for slapping somebody with a slice of pizza.
The first thing that popped in my head was the Goonies with the Fratelli brothers.
Yes.
They got into a pizza slap fight, and that's the only thing that I can think of. But now, what are the guesses for the state?
Illinois now.
I was going to say New York or Chicago because they got those big giant slices of pizza.
I was
They
thinking
could really do
too.
some damage.
I'm going to say Illinois.
That's a really good idea, Rob. I like where your head went with that.
Thanks.
But unfortunately, like all stories like this, it's Florida.
Oh.
You can
One
usually
thing I've ever learned.
That's not fair because you guys probably talked before the show.
Every morning I listen to the radio, and whenever there's a weird, crazy story, it's always Florida.
hmm And you know that pizza was terrible too. If it was Florida pizza, you know it was bad.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese pizza, like cardboard.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I
Yeah.
think somebody on here likes that pizza.
I don't
Oh, God.
mind Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
It's down there, isn't it?
I don't mind Chuck E. Cheese pizza. I'm guilty. I'm
You know they
guessing
sell it in
Jenny
the
likes
frozen
it.
food section now.
My
Oh,
son,
no.
my
Yes, they
son's
do.
favorite pizza is Domino's. Like,
Domino's isn't bad. It's better than it used to be, I think.
Ugh.
It used to be really, I don't know.
No, the best pizza around here, and because this was like a staple in Central Illinois, is Casey's General Store. And they've now built a couple Casey's up in this area. One's in
Mhm.
Burlington. They have one right over here, conveniently located.
We've
Where
had
I
it.
just purchased my home.
is that our new sponsor?
Oh, I hope so. Oh my God, I love Casey's Pizza. I swear to God, it's so good. I can't handle my
I
life.
just can't buy that would be the best pizza in the
It
area.
actually is pretty good.
It is so good. You have to try it. It is really good. So I just
So-
get the cheese pizza.
So all I really have today are comments, but fun fact, in 7th grade, I accidentally got ketchup in the lunchroom on somebody next to me, and they took their whole slice of pizza, and they slapped it in my chest, and the rest of the day, I had to smell what I couldn't wash out of my shirt. That was pretty gross.
You smell like
I didn't
pizza.
realize that was a crime. I could have probably
Yes.
had him arrested.
So yes, that is still like you can still pick up a battery. I know like there's the difference between assault and battery, so you can still pick up that charge even if you throw something at somebody. So while domestic violence is serious, obviously in this instance we have a
Yeah.
food fight over a disagreement that is like high school, no, less than high school age. So, oh boy. Oh boy.
Rob, I bet you smelled delicious.
It wasn't very delicious smelling because I remember it being kind of like grossing me out all day.
But
Like if you have mayonnaise in your beard or something, you can't.
I love school pizza. The
Yeah,
I don't
that
know
was
what it was
good.
Yeah,
this year, but
they were
that
rectangle.
pizza was
Yes.
the best.
Yeah, that was good
really
pizza. Yeah.
I miss it.
Just remember that the hamburgers you ate in high school were soy.
I do know that. I feel like, oh, these taste really different. But so we were all vegans then, and we didn't even know it.
I
Oh
don't
no,
know about
vegetarian. Vegetarian.
I don't know about all that.
Well, okay, this was fun, guys. Great job on finding those weird news. So we hope everybody enjoyed this weird news episode. We do have people that send us stories from time to time. So if you have some weird news happening in your neck of the woods, send it our way. We'd love to talk about it. You can send it to connectedrealm@gmail.com. That's connectedrealm@gmail.com. And with that,
Hold
I
on.
guess we'll.
Don't forget, we do investigations now. Reach out to
Everybody's
us.
plugging this.
Don't forget we need a sponsor.
We're doing it all. We're doing it all. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and pretty much everywhere else where you find podcasts. And as the team said, don't forget, we do investigations.
Yes,
Stay
we
weird, everybody. Ciao.
Bye.